Demisexuality is a word that might not have been part of your vocabulary a few years ago. You might have heard it in passing, read it in a social media post, or maybe a friend mentioned it casually, and you nodded along, not entirely sure what it meant. But here's the thing. Demisexuality isn't just a trendy label or some niche internet term. It's a real, valid, and deeply personal way that some people experience attraction. And understanding it can open our eyes not only to the diversity of human relationships, but also to how we ourselves connect with others. So, let's talk about it in a way that makes sense. Without complicated jargon, without judgment, and with a bit of heart. Because if you've ever felt like the way you experience attraction just doesn't line up with what everyone else seems to be feeling, you might find yourself nodding along as we go deeper. Demisexuality, in simple terms, means you only experience sexual attraction to someone after forming a deep emotional connection with them. That's it. Not after a first glance, not because they have perfect cheekbones, not because they're wearing that one outfit that makes everyone's head turn, but only after there's trust, closeness, and a real bond. For demisexual people, attraction doesn't start with the spark of physical appearance. It begins with the warmth of emotional intimacy. And this is where a lot of people get confused. Some will hear that definition and say, well, isn't that just being picky? No. Being picky is looking at someone and deciding they're not your type based on their looks or lifestyle. Demisexuality isn't about choosing not to be attracted. It's about literally not feeling that attraction until an emotional bond exists. You can't simply decide to be attracted in that way. It's not a preference like liking brunettes over blondes or tall over short. It's just how the heart and mind are wired. Let's paint a picture. Imagine your friends are out at a cafe, and a very good-looking person walks in. Your friends start whispering, giggling, maybe nudging each other, saying things like, "Oh my gosh, they're so hot!" You look over, you see them, and you agree. Yes, they're attractive. But that's it. There's no rush of butterflies, no sudden fantasy about holding hands on a beach, no desire to lean in closer. For you, it's like appreciating a piece of art in a museum. It's beautiful, but it doesn't stir something deep inside. It's not until you've had long conversations, shared laughter, trusted each other with secrets, and built an emotional connection that the possibility of sexual attraction enters the picture. This is where the what it isn't part becomes really important. Demisexuality is not the same as abstinence or celibacy. Abstinence is a choice you make about your actions, often for personal, religious, or cultural reasons. Celibacy is a commitment to not engage in sexual relationships for a period of time, or for life. Demisexuality, on the other hand, is about how attraction naturally develops for you. Even if you wanted to feel sexual attraction for someone quickly, without that emotional foundation, it wouldn't happen. It's also not about being shy or socially awkward. Sure, a shy person might also be demisexual, but shyness is about comfort levels in social situations. Demisexuality is about how attraction forms. You can be the most outgoing, confident person in the room and still be demisexual. And no, it's not about waiting until marriage or following a moral code before intimacy. Many demisexual people are perfectly comfortable with physical relationships before marriage, once they have that emotional connection. The key difference is that the attraction itself simply doesn't exist without it. One of the most common misunderstandings is the idea that demisexual people are somehow missing out on something, that they don't know what real passion is, or that they'll change once they meet the right person. But here's the truth. Demisexual people can experience passion, desire, and intimacy as intensely as anyone else. In fact, for many, those feelings are even stronger because they're built on deep trust and understanding. When the emotional connection is there, it can feel electric, profound, and completely consuming. Now let's be real, being demisexual in today's dating culture can feel challenging. We live in a world of swipes, quick matches, and first impressions based on profile pictures. Many dating apps and casual dating environments are built around instant attraction. If you're demisexual, that pace can feel alien. You might meet someone online, chat for a bit, and while others are eager to meet up right away, you might feel like you're still at square one. For you, attraction needs time. Conversations that go beyond surface level, moments that reveal someone's character, and shared experiences that create trust. This slower process isn't a flaw, it's a strength. Because when you do choose someone, it's not just based on fleeting feelings. It's based on genuine compatibility, emotional resonance, and trust. You're less likely to be swayed solely by physical charm, which means your connections often have a stronger foundation. Of course, demisexuality exists on a spectrum. Some people might need an extremely close friendship before feeling any attraction. Others might develop feelings more quickly, but still only after an emotional connection forms. And there can be exceptions. Human attraction is complex, and no label can perfectly define every moment of someone's life. But the central theme remains. For demisexual individuals, Emotional intimacy is the gateway to sexual attraction. It's also worth pointing out that demisexuality doesn't mean you can't recognize physical beauty. You can see someone and think they're good-looking without feeling any sexual attraction toward them. It's the difference between acknowledging someone's appearance and actually feeling that magnetic pull toward them. That pull for a demisexual person doesn't happen without that emotional link. Some people might hear all this and think, but isn't that just normal? Not exactly. Most people experience some level of sexual attraction towards strangers, acquaintances, or even celebrities they've never met. For demisexuals, those moments are either extremely rare or completely absent. This is why understanding the distinction matters, because without it, demisexual people might feel like they're broken, slow, or missing something when in fact, they're simply wired differently. Discovering the term demisexual can be life-changing for someone who's never understood why they don't experience attraction like others. It can bring a sense of relief, like finally having the right word for a feeling you've always known but couldn't explain. It validates that you're not alone, you're not abnormal, and there are others who feel the same way. It also helps in relationships. When you can articulate your needs and experiences, you give your partner the tools to understand and support you. For someone dating a demisexual person, patience is key. It's not about winning them over with charm or rushing the process. It's about showing up consistently, building trust, and letting the connection grow naturally. When that bond is there, attraction follows. And when it does, it's powerful. It's not about proving your worth. It's about being present and genuine. At the same time, demisexual individuals benefit from being upfront about how they experience attraction. You don't have to announce it on the first date, but having honest conversations early on can save both you and your potential partner from confusion or mismatched expectations. In a culture that often prioritizes speed, your slower pace can actually be refreshing for the right person. There's also a cultural aspect to this conversation. In some societies, relationships traditionally develop slowly. Families meet, friendships form, and intimacy grows over time. In those contexts, demisexuality might blend more naturally into the norm. In faster-paced, hookup-oriented cultures, it might stand out more. But no matter where you live, the principle remains. Your way of experiencing attraction is valid. Demisexuality also teaches us something beautiful about relationships in general. It reminds us that connection is more than surface-level attraction. It shows us the value of knowing someone deeply, of letting feelings grow organically rather than forcing them. And in a world where instant gratification is the norm, that reminder is powerful. So if you're listening to this and thinking, that sounds like me, know that there's nothing wrong with the way you love, desire, or connect. Whether you've known the term for years or you're just discovering it now, demisexuality is simply one of the many ways humans experience attraction. It's not better or worse than any other orientation. It's just different, and that difference deserves respect. And if you're not demisexual, understanding it can make you a better friend, partner, or ally. Because the more we understand about each other's experiences, the more space we create for compassion, patience, and real connection. At the end of the day, that's what all relationships, romantic or otherwise, are built on. Demisexuality is not about missing out. It's about waiting for the moment when your heart and mind align, when the emotional and physical connect in a way that feels natural to you. And when that happens, it's not just attraction. It's something deeper, something lasting, something worth the wait.